Hello everybody. It was nice to see the Warriors get back on track with a pretty crisply played first half against the Pistons. Ever since Klay Thompson came back, people have been curious about how Andrew Wiggins is going to adjust, and this game had some promising plays, seeing Wiggins taking advantage of the Splash Brothers' gravity and finishing off some good passes from them. That's an encouraging sign for the future. This play is a simple action. You see Steph pointing, that's a signal for Klay Thompson to come take a pin down screen from Andrew Wiggins. This is not exactly a bone-crushing screen, but Wiggins does get in the way of Cade Cunningham, and so Klay will spring free, and that means Cade Cunningham has to close out hard. Klay can attack the closeout. Now it looks like Saddiq Bey is going to have to help on Klay Thompson, otherwise he'll be able to go all the way to the basket. But Andrew Wiggins is also standing here, so he's going to try to clear out of the way and hopefully force Bey to follow him or go to Klay. Klay reads the situation very nicely. He's driven in hard, forced Bey to rotate to him. Cade Cunningham has stayed with Klay. So Wiggins is trying to drift to some open space, and Klay does this little hook pass to Wiggins. And Wiggins figures, if Isaiah Stewart doesn't close in on me, I'm just going to shoot this in his face. Face shot. This play begins with Wiggins attacking fast, and then he gets up in the air for an elbow jumper, but really good contest here, so he just has to bail out mid-shot. He just kind of chucks it wherever. Luckily for him, Klay Thompson is right here to pick up the ball. Klay just out-scrambles Bey for the ball here, and this is an instant problem for Diallo. No good deed goes unpunished. He made that great contest to make Wiggins bail out. Now he has to decide, do I go to Klay or do I stay here with Wiggins? And of course, he goes to Klay, force Klay to make the pass. Behind him, he really needed somebody to rotate, but instead, this person just says, I'm never going to get out there, so I'm going to box out. So I'm just going to let go and let God. And God said, let there be splash. This is a pretty interesting play. Steph is attacking fast in early offense. There's Klay's anti-shoe, and Looney's just going to come over and set a quick screen for Steph. Defender's going to make a good effort to fight his way around this screen. Steph just goes with the really clever behind the back dribble, so he's now going in this direction, and part of the reason he might want to is that he sees there's a defender camped out right here, so even if Steph turns the corner on this defender, he's going to have Cory Joseph in his face, so Steph goes the other way. Saddiq Bey is just following Steph, and I think Steph is turning the corner this way and thinking, wait, what is going on? How is this big defender Isaiah Stewart also waiting for me? That must mean that there are 3 people waiting for me, because there's 2 people waiting on each side of the screen, and then Saddiq Bey here is on my hip. So someone's open, and he looks up, and the person who's open is Andrew Wiggins. And so Steph, with a little showmanship, throws this. I think this is a no-look pass. Let's check. I don't know if you count that as a pure no-look pass, because it kind of looked like Steph looked, and then as he threw the pass, he looked away. I don't know what you call those, half-look passes. Anyway, good catch, good finish. How did Wiggins get so unguarded? The problem is Cory Joseph trails into the play late, and he decides, hey, I'm just going to come over here and stop Steph's drive around the corner. And that means, in the background here, Joseph was really supposed to be guarding either Otto Porter Jr. or Andrew Wiggins. And so that means 2 men are being guarded by 1 right now, which is no good for Detroit. The Warriors are really good at taking advantage of this. You can even see Otto Porter Jr. is pointing. He's saying, I'm going to relocate over here. You should cut, and that'll force this defender to either follow me or follow you. And the defender said, oh, well, you're closer. I'm just going to come hang out with you. And then Wiggins just flies in underneath the radar. This play starts promisingly for Detroit. Cade Cunningham drives past Klay, but Andrew Wiggins is helping off of Cory Joseph to meet Cade Cunningham's drive. And you're going to see a lot of the Warriors pounce like lions on a wildebeest. Otto Porter Jr. is also going to help. Klay is going to jump on. So all kinds of people are going to jump on Cade and rip the ball out of his hands. In the foreground over here, Cory Joseph is going to drift out to the corner and be very open, and you'll just see him go through all kinds of emotions. He's the very figure of a Greek sculpture called Disappointment. Cory Joseph calling for the ball. He knows he's totally open. He flashes at the universal symbol of, what the heck, I'm wide open. And then I can see the shoulders sagging. Now he's just like, well, I'm a vet. They're paying me for this. And I just gotta run really hard to get back into the play. Responsible vet, he's even calling out, yo, this guy's open. Someone cover him. Sorry, Cory, there's no one to cover him. There's only one man who's coming up to pick up Steph Curry. Nobody ever got fired for guarding Steph Curry. Andrew Wiggins runs hard. Clean pass. Clean dunk. This is the first play of the second half, so this is definitely a called play, but I don't think Klay completely remembers the play call because Steph is going to have to point out to him and everybody else, hey, attack that way. There's a signal. You see he's pointing, but he's also telling the people on this side. Wiggins is looking at Steph, Looney's looking at Steph, and he's saying, hey, Klay's going to attack. Why should these guys, all the way on the other side of the court, care whether Klay attacks on the strong side? Klay does a good job just getting by Cade Cunningham, which means Isaiah Stewart has to rotate, which then means Diallo needs to cover Looney, or Looney will just come over here and dunk it, right? So there the dominoes are all falling. Stewart rotates, Diallo sinks in. The Warriors were expecting this to happen though, clearly, because Klay is already going up in the air to pass Wiggins, cutting Looney, doing a good job putting a screen on Diallo with his buttocks, and Wiggins is super open. There's no one in this entire corner of the court. And Wiggins finishes it off. I can't help but look at one last play. This is the last play before the end of the first half. Right before the play I'm talking about, Steph got called for an offensive foul, and he really did not agree. So let's look at the replay. So you are going to see that Steph does make a little bit of contact with the chin here. So he does get him in the chin, but it's hard to tell how much he got him in the chin. I think Steph did not even notice, and Cory Joseph is now holding his jaw like he's going to need some surgery and to eat through a straw for the next 2 weeks. And ooh, that spin and fall. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, so some might say that it was a little bit of contact. Some might say that Cory Joseph fall was plagiarized from one of the Rocky movies, but we'll never know. Steph walking back to the bench in disbelief, and he's going to be shaking his head, and Steve Kerr's going to say, yeah, that was a bunch of baloney, wasn't it? And even before Steph gets a chance to sit down, so there's Steph walking back to the bench, disgusted. This is a kind of weird play by Detroit. Instead of just inbounding it to the open man, they decide to do something clever. This might be one of these plays where you pitch it over the top to this man, and then he does a handoff to a running Cade Cunningham, something like that. But Andrew Wiggins sees this dying duck of a pass and just goes up and gets it. Bunk. Good hustle by Juan Toscano-Anderson to track that down. And now, amazingly, the Warriors get the ball back with 7 seconds, and Klay Thompson knows all about this. He's done this so many times, just running down court to spot up for a long bomb. Klay, in front of everybody, calling for the ball. Gary Payton II, pointing, saying, yo, this way to Klay. Juan Toscano-Anderson, hey, he gets him the ball, not exactly in the shooting pocket. As Klay fires up the ball, Steph already in full 3 formation. Steph still holding up the threes. Steph is in the pose of a Greek statue called Ball Don't Lie. Klay ends the play by just walking into the crowd to be baptized in the waters of Chase Center, crowd going nuts for the return of Klay. And I haven't noticed this before. Klay really staying on theme here. He's not going to give Gary Payton a high 5. He's going to give him a high 3. Now that is commitment to the bit. And then even with the left hand, ambidextrous here, Klay's also going to throw up the high 3. I've never noticed people doing this before. Something new to watch out for every day. You know, who says that the Warriors don't innovate?